Your feet.
So this is the mic. This is the mic.
I have some stuff to say right now.
Alright, guys. So we wanted to make a video discussing various topics, but we want to clear things up real quick. So just so you guys know, whatever I say doesn't correlate with whatever she says, because sometimes me and Monica have different ways of going about certain situations.
Different views.
Exactly. So, for example, sometimes she is a little more conservative, like meaning that she likes to maintain peace with everybody, and she just likes to keep to herself. Me, however, I actually speak up about certain things that bother me, and I'm not afraid, to get out there, even if people dislike my approach and my opinions. So
Hold up. Okay. So the reason why I like to keep to myself and stay conservative or whatever, however you want to call it, because I have my opinions too and I have the way I view things, but I feel like he just really doesn't care. He just likes to say what's on his mind, and so it just like word vomit, like stuff just comes out, like whatever's on his mind, he just starts saying it. Me, on the other hand, I think twice about stuff, and I'm like, okay, well, there might be a reason why this person feels this way or why this person might feel this way. So I try to think of everybody's like ways of thinking. So then I'm like, I don't like to like say like state exactly like how I feel, because I feel like it could go towards different ways. So I can't just make one opinion based off of, you know what I mean?
She tries to not jump to conclusions.
Yeah, I try to look at everybody's point of view, and then I feel like if I do say something, a lot of the times there's really no point, because people are just hard-headed. Like, you can have a really good point and you can have like all the facts, and people would just stick close-minded. They would just stick to whatever they think is right.
Yeah.
So I don't like to deal with trying to change people's mind. I'm just like, I already know what I think, and I know like that my mind is like on the right level. So I'm just like, I don't care what anybody else says, So that's why I don't like say stuff, because I feel like if I do it, it's like kind of like pushing my beliefs or whatever I think on people, and I just don't like to do that.
Yeah. And then another thing too is we're making this video because sometimes people are very unmotivated, and because some people just don't want to interact with them, they don't want to collab with them, they don't want to work on projects or whatever with them. And we're here to tell you guys that happens to us a lot. Like, it's something that we deal with on a constant basis, and we just don't understand why. Like, sometimes we offer opportunities to people, and I don't know what it is, if they're like stuck up or if they don't like us. We just don't understand why. Like, we try to be friendly with everybody
and include everybody, and it sucks because there's times where like people have made me feel like they think, oh, like they don't have a life, like they got all the time in the world to do all these little videos and all this stuff that they want to like do or whatever, you know what I mean? And people have made me feel like that, when in reality it's not like that. I just make time for the things that I want to do, because I have kids and I have work and I have other stuff going on, that I need to worry about. So it's definitely not because I don't have, obviously right now with quarantine, everybody has time, but if that's not us, that hasn't always been the case. And it just sucks to feel that way, like for people to make you feel like they're so busy, like, oh, I'm too busy for this, like I'm too busy for that. And like, people just take life way too serious. Like, you should make time for things that you like and things that just to get involved, you know what I mean?
For example, we've sometimes people tell us, hey, yeah, I would like to be a part of your project, and we believe them, so we hit them up sometimes, and then turns out they ignore our messages, or they can't go, they can't show up, they don't make the effort, and then we're like, okay, well, why would they tell us that they want to be a part of it if they don't even make the effort to show up? And then me and Monica get confused, because we're like, okay, like, why do they say yes? Like, it's so simple to say no, guys. So simple. You just tell us, hey,
or to not even vote on it at all, because half of the time we post stuff on this, like he posts things on his story before he does anything. Like he asks like, hey, who would be interested in this, who would be interested in that? And if you're like really not interested, or you really think you're not gonna make it or whatever, like you could just literally just skip it. Like you don't have to put yes if you know you're not gonna go, you know.
That's another thing. Like, don't vote on polls if you're not serious, because we literally take the time out of our days to make these meets, or we take our polls very serious, and we're not people that like to flake on our commitments. And being a part of a project goes a long way. For example, I remember when before I did film and all that stuff and I knew how to do it, I used to think to myself, hey, like, damn, I wish somebody made me come out in a commercial, I would even pay them to come out in a commercial or a short film or a movie. And then now it turns out like it's so different. It's like everybody expects to be paid, and they don't want to come out in a commercial. They don't want to be a part of any of these projects, and it's like, what? Like, I'm confused. Like, I'm like, why would anybody not want to come out in a video? Like, I just don't understand. Like, I mean, when you come out in a video, you look like a star. I mean, that's my perspective, but who knows? I mean, I don't know what other people think.
Sometimes we might come off as like kind of pushy when we talk about the subject, but it's probably just because it bugs us that people say they want to do it, but then they end up not doing it, or totally ignoring us, or just not showing up. So this goes for that kind of people. It's not for, at least from my part. Like, I know that some people are into different stuff. They probably don't care about anything that has to do with media or videos or commercials or movies or whatever, pictures. Like, there's a lot of people that don't care about it, but like, for example, his Instagram is like solely about videography, photography, and all that stuff that goes together. So if like you follow him, it's gotta be because you like something that he posts, and like if you're engaging in his polls and all that stuff, then obviously you're there for a reason. So it makes no sense for him not to get any support, like when he does make a video or want to put you guys in the video or whatever. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that just, from my part, that just goes for those people who act like they want to be part of like what we're doing, but then end up like flaking. Because like, I'm not trying to push like what we like on people. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I know that there's a lot of people who don't care about like this stuff. They have their own stuff going on, so obviously they're not gonna be on our page trying to support us, because they probably really don't care. Like, they have other stuff that they want to do and look at and stuff, so that's understandable. But not when like you say you're gonna be there but then you don't show up, or when you just go whenever it's convenient for you and you're getting something out of it.
Another thing, I'm gonna give you guys a story real quick. When you help people out, it pays you back, and I'm gonna give you guys a few examples of when that happened to me. One day I was at the car wash, and some old guy, he needed help washing his car because he's old, he couldn't bend down. And then I went to help him. I was like, oh, let me do this for him. And then it turns out he was a pretty important man. We exchanged numbers, and he was very thankful for me helping him out. Years go by, and then I lose my job. I started to lose everything I had and stuff, and then he hit me up. So like, hey, how are you doing? And I'm like, oh, all this is going on. He's like, hey, no problem. I could get you a job at Porsche. So I head to San Diego. He lets me stay at his house, and he's all like, I have a couple of friends here. If you get the job here, you can stay here at my house. And I got an interview and everything, and everything went well. But point of this story is, have good morals, help people out, because you never know who you're helping, and you never know if you're gonna need them later on. It could be in years, it could be in months, it could be in days. But always be a good person to help people out. Be humble, because you never know who you're helping.
Okay, so the reason why we brought this conversation up, and talked about this subject is because a lot of times when this stuff happens to us, we feel really unmotivated, and I'm sure that a lot of you guys go through that, whether it be with this or any situation. Lack of support really can make you feel unmotivated, and makes you want to not do the things that you like to do just because you're not getting any type of support. But this brings me back to a point, which I've been trying to make. So basically, if you lack motivation and you're waiting on somebody to do something, don't do it. Don't wait on anybody, because that person may not want it as much as you do. So if you want it really bad, just go out and get it and do it, because you don't need anybody to hold your hand.
Yeah.
So basically, this is just us trying to give you guys some motivation, because even though we get unmotivated at times, we never stop. We still keep going. So
Somebody not helping you out could be a good thing for you. Reason is, say for example, you're relying on somebody to help you out with a computer, for example, and they didn't show up. They didn't want to help you. Whatever it is that person didn't want to do for you, you're gonna have to go and do it yourself, because they didn't show up. So now you're a smarter person because you had to learn that skill on your own. And now that person that didn't want to help you because they were being selfish now has competition. And now they have a smarter person that probably has two skills combined, versus that one that you were lacking from that one specific person. So don't feel bad about yourself. If anything, it makes you a stronger, smarter, and better person, for having the lack of support. That's why I know so many things, and that's why I'm as smart as I am, is because I went through so much, guys. Like, so many people in my life didn't want to help me do the things that I wanted to do, so I had to learn it on my own. And that's what made me a smarter, stronger person.
So I hope this video motivated you guys a little bit, because I'm going to use this for motivation for myself as well. And that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.
Later.
Bye.